Hey there, it's Renessa Bully Lane, and I'm going to preface this video by saying I have never done drugs, do not smoke weed, and I have never puffed on a cigarette. But there is this little drug analogy that I believe is the key or one of the keys to you getting highly paid doing work that you love. And that is to get high on your own supply. Tell you why this came to mind. Yeah, first of all, let me just say, if you are already offended by this, just stick with me. It's not that deep. But there's a little gem in this analogy that just might set you free as you are trying to create work you love. So, how did this come about? So, I was having a conversation with my husband about something. I don't even remember what it was, but I was so excited about something that I wanted us to do. And he was just not feeling it. He could not have been less interested. It could not have been less important. And I was like, I don't understand why he's not excited about this. Like, I don't understand why he is not behind this. It was just I don't know if it was something I wanted us to do in our marriage, or I don't know what it was. All I know is he was not fired up. And it was totally fine, that he was not fired up. He's a grown man. He can be interested in what he wants to be interested in or not interested in what he doesn't want to be interested in. But I couldn't understand why he couldn't get behind this thing that I was just so passionate about. And what I realized over time is that I started to kind of shut down, or I started to withdraw, or like I wouldn't talk about this thing that I was interested in. I wouldn't bring it up. I was like, oh, well, if he's not excited about it, then maybe, it's not a big deal. Like I started to let the light dim, right? And what was going on is that I was looking for permission. Like I was looking for validation from him to get excited. And if once he got excited, then I felt like I could get excited, right? But what happened and what I realized one day, it was like something just said, Vanessa, you need to get high on your own supply. Like you need to be the one that's fired up. Now, if you've ever heard this drug analogy, usually it goes, don't get high on your own supply or never get high on your own supply. And I'm going to let you do the Google research to figure out what that means. But in this case, I needed to be the one who got fired up and excited and certain and confident around what I wanted to do, irrespective of whether or not, in this case, the man that I love was behind it or not. And so, what does that mean for you? Like, there's a lot of you who also need to get high on your own supply, right? Like you're looking for people to get behind your vision. You're looking for people to co-sign with your idea. You're looking for folks to validate whether or not this is the right direction for you or that's the right direction for you. And in doing so, you end up dimming the light. In doing so, there is a pathway that you're supposed to take. There's a career that you're supposed to pursue, a business you're supposed to pursue, a mission that you're supposed to get off the ground. And you're not doing it because you're looking for the marketplace to get all fired up about you. And while I do believe that it's important to test things, like you put stuff out in the market, you see what the feedback is and all that kind of stuff, at some point, you got to get high on your own supply. You've got to get certain about the yes. You've got to get certain about, yes, this is the decision that I need to make, or yes, this is the direction that I want to go. Why? Because it's the God-given direction for you. Like when we talk about desire, there's one of my favorite scriptures says that delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. And sometimes people misconstrue that and think that means that God's like a genie in the box and you just ask for anything and you just get anything. That's not necessarily how it works. When I hear that scripture, the thing that comes to mind is this idea that God gives us the desires of our heart, meaning that the desires that we have, whether it's a desire to have a certain kind of impact on the community or the world, the desire to bring some new idea to the marketplace, the desire to make a difference in a certain way, like just the desire itself is of God. Like the word desire is of God. And so sometimes it's just the fact that you've been given that intuition, that you've been given that vision, that you've been given that idea or that image in your head. That's all the validation that you need. Because there's somebody who I'm talking to that there's something that you want to do or something that's been on your heart for years. I couldn't give a flip about it. Why? Because it's the mission that you were born to fulfill. There's things that I want to do in the marketplace. I'm sitting here having this video with you trying to inspire and equip and, motivate you for the direction of your perfect work. That's the wall that I'm meant to build in the world. And there's some of you who are listening who would never do this, right? Because it's not for you to do. And so my encouragement to you, as I was sitting here today, like, where did this idea come from? My encouragement to you is to figure out how to get high on your own supply. How do you get fired up and excited and certain and committed and emotionally invested in the vision that you have been given, irrespective of if anyone else is behind you, is co-signing with you, is validating the idea. And when you're able to do that, then guess what? Opportunities will flock towards you, doors will open, and people will actually get behind. They won't get behind the vision, they'll get behind the certainty that you express in that vision. All right. So I'll see you next time. But in the meantime, get high on your own supply. That should be a song. I'm probably plagiarizing somebody's little hook in a song. But anyways, get high on your own supply. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.